everybody, welcome to Venus's Yoga Flow. I am Venus, and today we have a yoga sequence for you to help with knee pain and the health of your knees, strengthening too, a little bit of some strengthening. It's going to be geared more towards the legs today, and it's a short video because if your knees are already hurting, you don't want to be making them worse. And anytime you're doing any of the poses that we're going to do today, if it hurts too much, just stop. Or if you need to do it a less time, you can do it a less time. Feel free. Yoga is for you. It's critiqued for you. You're in charge. So let's start today in our mountain pose. You want to have all 4 feet grounded. Let's keep a slight bend in the knee. A lot of times we want to stand up straight and lock the knees, and that is not good. If you do that for a long time, you could maybe pass out. So make sure as you're standing, keep it loose, like micro bend in the knee. And then you're gonna raise your arms up. We wanna take a breath here. In through the nose, out through your mouth. Come on down. One more time. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Notice if you're locking your knees, bring them back to a little micro bend. Bring one wrist, grab one of your wrists with the opposite hand. Let's lean to the side. Feel a nice stretch. And take the opposite hand on the wrist and stretch the opposite way. We do this because I want you to get that movement going where you're not locking your knees. From here, we're going to come into a forward fold. So again, we're going to raise our hands up overhead, keeping that micro bend, slowly come all the way down to the floor if you can. Bring your head toward your legs, keeping that height, princessa. Keeping that micro bend in your knees. Let's walk our fingers over to one side, feel a nice stretch in the hips and your hamstrings there, back of your thigh. And then walk them over to the other side and feeling a nice stretch in the hamstring there. And again, you're keeping your knees loose there. Kind of shake them out a little bit. From here, I want you to come up halfway lift with your back flat. Breathe in, breathe out. Here, you're gonna keep your hands on your thighs or your calves, but keep that micro bend. If you feel like your knees are starting to hurt and it's tightening up through the back, you need to bend them up a little bit. You need to bend them. Slide back down and then come all the way up. Bring your hands in front of you and up overhead and to the heart. Now we're going to come into Sun Salutation B. You're gonna bring your toes together. You can have your legs about hip width apart, bring the big toes together. A little bit stronger foundation that way. Go ahead and sit on down and back. Bring your hips back. Now here your knees are more vulnerable because you have them bent. So you've got to be really careful here not to come too far over the toes. In a strengthening situation, you would actually bring them forward to where your toes are covered, just for some strengthening, and then bring them back. And then stand back up, reaching way up overhead. Let's come back down to that forward fold, keeping that bend in the knee, micro bend. One more time, let's slide up into our Sun Salutation B. Bring your hands up as you're bending your knees down. Slide the hips back and come straight up. And bring your hands down to your side. Now I want you to take your first downward facing dog here. So bring your hands down to the mat. Bring your legs back. And then let's pedal out the legs and then bring your chest back, pushing into your legs. Really get a nice bend in one knee and a nice stretch in the other. As one leg is protected because it's straight and the other knee is more vulnerable. So you just be really careful doing these. From here, you're gonna bring one leg up. Let's bring our right leg up, straight ahead, keeping the hips lined up. And then bring it through. You'll be in your high lunge, back foot, toes are curled under. Come up in your knee, bending through your knee, lifting the arms way up. This is a nice workout for the thighs too. You're pressing all four corners of the feet into the mat, tipping the tailbone under. This is also going to help with applying the weight, distributing it evenly, taking some of that pressure off of the knee. Breathing. Breathe. Bring your hands down in front of you. We'll take an open twist here, resting that elbow on the knee and turning to the sides, hands stacked. Breathe. Move the hair and then come on back up. Bring your feet up to the top. Shake out that leg a little bit if you need to. Shake it out. Okay. Or reach back on up. Swing your hands down again. Breathing. Let's step it back into downward facing dog. Pressing back into the chest, into your thighs. Bringing the legs. Protecting, opening. Press back again. Let's come up on your fingertips. Bring that leg up, the opposite leg up, keeping the hips lined up. You're gonna bring it through into your low lunge. Toes curled under. Reaching your arms up overhead. Breathing. Breathing, come down on your quadricep, your knee a little more. This is for some strengthening. Hands in front of your chest. Take that prayer twist to the side. Pressing into your wrists. Breathing. From here, turn and look down at the floor. Come back into your downward facing dog. Pedal out the knees. Keep them relaxed. We'll come into a low lunge, so you're gonna bring your foot just like the high lunge, but drop down on that back knee. Pressing your hips into the mat as far as you can, and then go ahead and lift on up. Breathing. And you'll bring your foot out, pressing into that heel, into your one-legged split. Come down, breathe. And then bring your leg back, your leg back. With your opposite leg you did before with the low lunge. And we're gonna come back into the lunge on the opposite leg. Again, bringing your arms up overhead. Breathing. Navel to spine, tucking that tailbone under. And then bring your hands back down. Taking a one-legged split here. Breathe, come down. Breathing. Re-stabilizing the leg. And come on back up. Go ahead and have a seat on your knees. And just kind of walk them forward. Breathing. Rolling the shoulders back. Now from here, you're going to walk the legs out in front of you. Bring them flat on the floor. And then from here, lift your legs up and just leave them very loose. Placing your hands facing upward. Breathing in your waterfall pose. You can bend the knees out a little bit if you want to. Rotate the ankles. Breathing. Bring your legs back down. Go ahead and bring both knees over to the side. Adjust the hips a little bit. Take a spinal twist here. You can have your arm out to the side or both of them up overhead or in that cactus shape. Breathe. Just come to the flow of your breath. All of these different knee poses, they're meant to be done with care, to do with care. Especially if you already have a knee injury, or if you are suffering from arthritis in the knee, or if it's just weather even, or just ouch, my knees hurt. That happens a lot. If you do this every few days, you know, like a few times a week, I should say, just to build up that strength. But modify if you need to, or make sure you have a pillow or blanket, you know, to help with the knees. Bring the knees back up. Let's pull them into our chest. Bring them in a couple times. Rock side to side on your hips. Bring the legs back down. And let's just rest here a minute in Savasana. Keeping your hands, let's keep them on the hips. Shoulders melt into the mat. Neck melts into the mat. Maybe rock side to side. With your head. I thank you for doing this with me today. Let's take one more deep breath. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Wiggle your wrist. Bring your knees up. Grab on behind your knees if you're able to and roll yourself up. If not, just come in your fetal position, push up with your hands. And I thank you for joining me on the mat, and I do hope to see you again soon. If you have not subscribed, please do. I appreciate that. And like or comment too. Everybody have a beautiful day, and I will see you next time. Let's close with a chant of Om one time. Prayer position, thumbs up to your third eye, breathing in. Om. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody.